Welcome to the Zweig Podcast, putting architectural, engineering, planning, and environmental consulting advice and guidance in your ear. Zweig Group's team of experts have spent more than 3 decades elevating the industry by helping AEP and environmental consulting firms thrive. And these podcasts deliver invaluable management, industry, client, marketing, and HR advice directly to you, free of charge. The Zweig Podcasts, elevating the design industry one episode at a time.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Zweig Podcast. My name is Randy Wilburn. I am here today with a short episode on some things that are happening over the summer as we plan for our Zweig Group's 2025 Elevate AEC Conference, which is taking place in San Antonio, Texas, from September 9th through the 11th. And before that, there will be an M&A Next event taking place September 8th and 9th, also in San Antonio at the Grand Hyatt there on the Riverwalk. And I'm excited to connect with my partner in crime, Luke Carothers, who we decided to come together, just have a simple conversation about this upcoming Elevate conference and why somebody, maybe if you're on the fence, you might want to think about attending this event. Maybe you didn't sign your company up for a Best Firm to Work For consideration or a Marketing and Excellence Award, a Rising Star Award, or even just you didn't make the hot firm list. What we want to do is encourage you to think about coming together with a lot of like-minded professionals in the AEC space that will be meeting down in San Antonio for this Elevate conference. It's been like that for years. Before it was Elevate, it was Hot Firm, and it was just a chance to celebrate the industry. And that celebration has continued. And as long as I've been a part of this industry, one of the challenges that I think design professionals face is the inability just to celebrate the work that you guys do on a regular basis. And Luke and I said, why don't we come together and just have, just an episode just to talk about this event, why it's important to come and participate, and why, because, proximity is what do they say? Proximity is a place of power, right? And so if you are a design firm leader, a design firm owner, and you're trying to take your firm to the next level, sometimes it means that you need to get around other people that have actually already done it, right? The idea is that once you've learned how to fish, it's easy to fish. But if you don't know how to fish properly, you need somebody to teach you. And so certainly an event like Elevate is a great event just to rub shoulders with other peers and other professionals in the design industry that have had a fair amount of success on all different levels. And the thing that I like about what Zweig Group has done over the years is that they've incorporated the whole company. That's why we have Rising Stars. That's why we cover so many different aspects of a design firm, not just the actual design professional. We highlight marketing, and that's what the Marketing and Excellence Awards winners, what that's all about. And so we look at every phase of the design industry space, and we try to celebrate and acknowledge all of the different professionals that it takes to have a successful design firm. So yes, you have your designers, you have folks that are your entry-level folks, you have your mid-level folks, you have the amazing support team and operations when you think of marketing, when you think of finance and business management. All of those things play a role in a healthy and successful design firm. And so we're just going to talk a little bit today about that and why you might want to consider coming out in September of 2025 to San Antonio, Texas, to join us down by the Alamo and take in an event like no other. Luke, did I set that up properly? Is that kind of the gist of what we're doing here?
Yeah, as well as anyone can set up Elevate as an event. It's more of a spectacular or a spectacle. You mentioned kind of the history. This is my 6th year. This will be my 6th year attending the Elevate AEC Conference, 5th in person. My first year was digital because of COVID. But like you said, it's truly a way to celebrate everything that this industry does. And not only that, how they do it. So it's truly an amazing place to be. And like you said, since the time when it was just an event for hot firm celebration, it's expanded. It's now a place where things get done, where there's workshops, there's conversations that move the industry forward. And those things always happen when it was an award show, I think, but now it's built into the structure of the event. And it's just a really cool place to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and you hit it on the head. I mean, it has been a program that has evolved over the years. And really, I think it does a great job in highlighting, everything that is great about our industry, even the challenges that we face, right? It's like even design professionals are not immune to challenges in the business environment. And so I think it's important for people to know that they're not alone in these situations and that there is hope, right? Because again, if you can see somebody else just a little bit further down the road than you are, that's a similar type of firm that has found some success, then that is example enough for you to say, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. And I think to me, in a nutshell, that's one of the beautiful aspects of the Elevate AEC conference is that it gives like-minded individuals a chance to connect with each other and learn what they're doing, learn what's working. And that's really honestly why I love the awards part of it, because you get to see so many different firms, so many different types of firms, big A, little e, big E, little a, E exclusively, right? Just engineering shops, A, just architectural shops. You've got landscape architecture shops. You've got multidiscipline firms. You've got a little bit of everything, structural engineering firms. So the beauty of the Elevate conference is that you get to hear from so many different design firms and what they're doing to succeed in an ever-changing business landscape that, let's face it, folks, it's not getting any easier out there. And I think Zweig Group has done a really good job of capturing the essence of the challenges that we face as design professionals, as design leaders, and what it takes for us to continue to find success on a daily basis. Because to me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned all the different types of firms, right? Big E, little e, big A, all the different acronym combinations. It runs the gamut. But when it comes down to it, you get to see these are all successful firms and they all have unique cultures, and the people that are attending the event want to be there for these firms. And so it just creates this environment that's just truly one of a kind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so I'm really excited about it and looking forward to the event and what it will represent for everybody else. I'm also looking forward to checking out San Antonio. San Antonio's a great city, home to the San Antonio Spurs, home to a number of local colleges, and it just, a really vibrant restaurant scene and one of my favorite hotels in the whole wide world. And it's the Hotel Emma, which is down there. And I think it's in I don't know, are you familiar with the Hotel Emma by any chance?
I am not. Eager to hear, though.
Yeah. So Hotel Emma is in what I want to say, it is in what used to be the Pace Picante Sauce building. Like you've heard of Pace Picante Sauce. It's like, So anyway, their original factory is now a hotel. It's called the Hotel Emma. It's in San Antonio. I want to say, like, when you walk in there, they'll serve you a fresh margarita. That's what they're known for. They're known for a number of things, but beyond that, the hospitality and the facility is second to none. And while this event will not be held there, I'm just highlighting the fact that San Antonio is a really cool place to go.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I like every year with the Elevate is we go to a different city. And as my job in marketing is that I kind of have to find those unique things with each city. And when you think about San Antonio, like I believe it's the oldest settlement in Texas. And it's funny that you mentioned a hotel that used to be a factory, a food factory. And so like when you have such an old place, old things have to become new. And it's about that change. And our industry is that industry of change.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, well, it should be good. I think it's, just to kind of give people an idea, the way that Zweig has always done these is typically always been like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday setup. And I think this year, the M&A Next conference is starting on the Tuesday. So the 8th and 9th are the M&A Next symposium. And that kind of tees into the actual Elevate AEC conference, which starts on the 9th. The actual celebration event happens on that Thursday night, the 10th of September. And they've typically done that over the last few years now. So that way people, if they need to get back home before the end of the week, they're able to do it. But it still is a great opportunity for people to really, kind of come and hang out.
Yeah. And that was something that, like you said, we switched to recently. We used to have a longer conference, but when you're in such a beautiful place, I think we started doing it in Tampa, where we wanted to give that Friday back to everyone, whether it was going back to your family or spending that time in what was Tampa, but now San Antonio. But that was a reflection of return on investment. So yeah, it is structured to give that day back to the travelers, that final day.
Absolutely. And let's face it, I mean, there's a lot of really good things that will be happening. And, a lot of people make a vacation out of this where they'll come to celebrate the Elevate conference, and then they'll stay typically like over that weekend and enjoy that city wherever the Elevate conference is. And in this case, we're talking about San Antonio. So there's a lot to see. There's a lot to do. As you alluded to, you've got the history of the Alamo, just definitely worth checking out. So I would certainly encourage you to do that. And so do you want to just kind of talk a little bit, Luke, about the actual conference itself and what people can expect at the conference?
Yeah. This year's conference, the theme this year, it's hard to get out without making a Top Gun reference. The theme this year is the speed of business.
Love that. I wonder who came up with that.
Yeah, I think that would be Chad Kleinhens, and I think it's a wonderful theme. When we think about it, I think I've mentioned this to you before, Randy, but the AEC industry historically gets a bad rap as an industry that's slow to adopt. And I personally disagree with that statement. I think in the last 5 to 10 years, the AEC industry has taken a much stronger step forward in the way they do things. And so when you do things like that, business becomes faster, changes come faster, projects, the timeline changes, it gets quicker as we adopt new technologies and things like that. Chad Kleinhens, he wrote a beautiful article for TZL that I think will come out later today. He puts it beautifully. He says, speed isn't a luxury in the AEC industry. It's the way we do things. So that's kind of the theme. That'll frame the way that we're talking about things. But you can expect some awesome keynote speeches, and then we'll have workshops as well, varying setup and some roundtables, and then also panels for discussion. And then the final thing that we lead up to, kind of the capstone at the end of the event, is that the Black Tie Awards Gala. And again, I think
which is a lot of fun. I might add.
It is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
If you enjoy lasers, it's the best time of your life. I'm not sure what the laser setup will be in San Antonio, but yeah. And again, Chad put it really great in his article. He said, "What's speed without a little bit of sparkle?"
Yeah, no, I love it. And, there, like I said, there's a lot to see and do. And typically the way that this program works is that there are core sessions of the event, and then there are breakout sessions, which allow people to go a little deeper into topics and or subjects that are really important to them. Like every year they have some people that come in and talk about ownership transition. They talk about marketing. They talk about, let's see, what's another good thing? Recruitment and recruiting. The other big topic, of course, that we are talking about more than probably anything else. Can you guess what that is, Luke?
Recruitment and retention?
No, the other thing. It begins with an A and ends with an I.
Oh, AI. Well, I only said that because of the connection between AI and recruitment and retention.
Of course.
I swear that was in my notes.
No.
But
Well, yeah, but here's the thing though, and that's just it. Now AI is actually helping to kind of ramp up and speed up recruitment and retention in this space, but there's still no substitute for the high personal touch of building and connecting with individuals in this space and building relationships for the long term. Because, for most people, once an architect, always an architect, once an engineer, always an engineer. Yeah, we had the stories of people that leave the industry and go elsewhere. And some have left the industry because of there's just a lack of opportunity. But for the firms that we're going to see at this event, these are really forward-thinking firms that get it and want to continue to progress and want to continue to create a workplace and an environment where people thrive, especially young design professionals. Yeah, recruitment and retention is really big. And the retention piece is huge because once you get them in the door, you want to make sure you close up that back door so that they don't walk out the back door. And there'll be a lot of really good sessions for you to kind of sink your teeth into. And if you come with multiple people from your office, you can divide and conquer. One person can go do an ownership transition talk. Somebody else can go do a talk on diversity. Somebody else can go do a talk about recruitment. And then still, maybe all of you want to attend the session on AI, because that's always a popular thing right now because it's the flavor of the month. Well, it's the flavor of the next few years for sure. But I think there'll be some really good conversations happening. And so there'll be multiple breakout sessions. And I would encourage you to, look at the schedule in advance, and we'll link to it in the show notes so that you can get an idea of everything that's happening, from the keynote speeches, from all of the amazing people that will be at both the M&A Next event as well as the Elevate AEC Conference itself. There'll be a lot of opportunities for you to gain some additional insight, some additional encouragement, and even some guidance on, what should be some of the next steps you should be thinking about as you look to help be a part of the growth of your firm, both today and tomorrow. You want to add anything to that, Luke?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, you hit the nail on the head a few seconds ago when you said these are forward-thinking firms, right? When we think about the speed of business, it's not just about the speed of business as it's happening now. It's the speed at which we reach those future things that are coming. Those discussions are happening sooner and sooner because we're getting closer to that date in the future. And when you're trying to align your firm to those kind of goals, to me, this is the perfect crowd to be around, because these are the firms that have demonstrated that they can think strategically and forward like that, and demonstrated that they can move at the pace that they need to grow in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so there's just a lot that will be available to you. And so again, you get a chance to connect with just some people that are really doing interesting things in this industry and that have figured out ways to operate their businesses with a high degree of success, a high degree of precision, and a high degree of profit, right? So it's like, it's like a trifecta of things. So it's like, wow, okay, well, you might have a really successful firm, but you're like, man, I still feel like I can't break through to that next level. I guarantee you there will be people that were in your same shoes several years ago that used what they learned at the Elevate conference and have really blown through whatever goals they had set for themselves. And they'll be there to talk about it. And that's why I think, coming to an event like this, just spending a couple of days in San Antonio with, Luke and Chad Kleinens and Chad Coldiron and Will Swearingen and Tracy Eves and Ying and Tom Godin and so many other amazing folks that you can't help but just gain some insight and understanding that will help fuel you as you go back to your office after the event.
Yeah. And that's another thing that you notice as you go from year over year is that those discussions lead to results, right? If you've maybe gone to the conference 2 or 3 years ago and you decide that you want to attend this year, you're going to see people that you saw 3 or 4 years ago that have executed on those plans that they were talking about back then. So it's a really good thing to see year over year. But if you haven't been before, this is the crowd that you need to be with.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and I look forward to being there because you just get to connect with so many different people. And as a lot of this industry you find people that have been in this industry for years. And so I love going and connecting with folks that I haven't seen in so many years and they're still around, working at a high level. So that more than anything else will be really fun. And the other thing that I've always liked about the Elevate conference is the food's actually really good too, that you guys have never spared any expense when it came to putting tremendous food together. I can remember going to the Hot Firm event in Beverly Hills at the Beverly Hilton. And that was, the food there was second to none. But every year that I've been to an Elevate conference, the food is great. And that speaks volumes to the fact that you guys at Zweig really pay attention to details. And, you leave no stone unturned. You make sure that every aspect of the experience is addressed, and the whole team will be there. They will be there to meet everyone's needs. And so even if you have to register at the last minute, it won't feel like that, because the Zweig Group team will bring you into the fold really quickly and bring you up to speed with everything that you need in order to make the most of your time on the ground in San Antonio.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about the event, about registrations or how to register, anything like that, please reach out to us. Like Randy said, we have a wonderful team that is incredibly receptive, incredibly responsive and timely. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the best meal that I had at Elevate, but
they're all so good. Like every meal, it's like, at lunch, it's like they put out all the stuff, and then the snacks are next level. So
yeah. Well, listen, and then there's also a trend. There's also a trend amongst people that have booths that they've started handing out homemade treats. I don't know when that trend started, but that's another thing that is an added bonus that I did not expect in the last few years.
Yeah. And that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that, because speaking of booths, there are a number of sponsors for the Elevate conference, and they'll be there as well. They will have their tables talking about the work that they're doing, like SA Global, KP Ready Company, who's been on this podcast, Uninet, another company that's been on this podcast, Stonebridge Financial Group, RBC Wealth Management, BQE. They're just, and there are still more sponsorship spaces available for this event. So it's not too late. If you want to sponsor an event and you serve the design industry and really want to connect with some decision makers in one location, that's a fun event where a lot of things happen. Luke, I always wonder, like, it would be cool to know all of the business that actually gets transacted at an Elevate conference. I suspect that it's a lot. I suspect the Elevate AEC conference can be the fertile ground where M&A deals potentially happen, where there is an ownership transition opportunities that crop up. All kinds of things can happen. And so, again, it's just nice to be in proximity with all of these different people. And you don't have that every day of the week that you're running your business. And so coming to an event like this, having access to all of these individuals, all these different representative firms in the design industry space from all over the country. Like they said, you've heard the statement, proximity is power. This is a level of proximity that you don't have every day. And so I really want to encourage you to be thinking about this. If you're on the fence about going, it's the best, money that you will spend as a way, not just to do two things. One, celebrate, like I said earlier, celebrate yourself and your business and what you're doing. But two, strategically, it's a chance for you to really connect with some other really successful people in the design industry space, learn what they're doing, see what they're doing, and figure out maybe how you can iterate upon that and maybe do it at that level or even better.
Yeah. And on top of that, adding to it, there's an energy. And so people are activated and they want to talk, and there's access, right? Everyone's in the same room. It's not a segmented event. So you'll get a chance to shake hands and meet everyone that you want to meet. And so when there's the energy present and everyone wants to do things, right? They're excited. Keynote speeches get people fired up. So things happen, like you said, and there's not a way to, I think, track that overall impact, that net impact. But if we were to, I think it would be huge because of the conversations that are happening, because of the energy, because of the time and effort that people put into getting the event set up. All of that leads to things getting done.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And so again, like I said, I think people need to really think long and hard about this event. And if you were on the fence, or maybe you've been several years ago, maybe you went when it was hot firm, and now you're like, I've been to those events. You've been to one, you've been to them all. Each one is different. And I must say this, I was in Las Vegas, and then I went to, where was the one after Vegas? There was a few. And each time that I've been to an event, it's just been a really unique experience. Tampa was the last one last year. And actually, I went to these events, and I typically try to record most of the breakout sessions and the keynotes and try to bring them back and repurpose them here on the podcast, because again, such great information, so many great talks. Zweig has definitely, pulled out all the stops to bring some really great thought leaders to this space. And I hate using that expression, thought leaders, right? Because we all have thoughts, but these people, these individuals cultivate their messages and they put it into practice on a daily basis. And then they come and talk to us about it. And that's the quickest way for you to learn something new. And so I really want to encourage you to do that. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention just the simple fact that this year, more than any other year, is going to be hugely different because of the new connection with Stambaugh Ness. And I think with Zweig and Stambaugh Ness now joining forces, this is going to be a groundbreaking event this year at this Elevate AEC conference, Luke. I don't know how you feel about it, but I just feel like with the coming together of these two organizations that, really they don't cannibalize each other. They do distinctly different things, but they kind of serve the same purposes, the same needs that all design professional firms have. And so I'm really interested to see, I've got my popcorn ready, but I think this is going to be a very special Elevate conference because you've got two excellent firms that have come together that have served the design industry for years, that have come together to unite. And really, I think it's going to have a tremendous impact on our industry. And I think even more so, it's going to impact those that are in attendance at this event in San Antonio in September.
Yeah. I would say if you have been to other conferences and you haven't been to Elevate AEC, you haven't been to the
You're missing something.
Yeah, this is something completely different. I've spent a lot of time going to a lot of different conferences, and Elevate AEC is exciting. It's actionable. There's a smoke show and lasers, and it's all the rehearsing that Kyle and Chad do. It's something different, and it's something that we've gotten very good at doing every year. The conference gets better and better every year. And now as we're partnering with Stambaugh Ness, things are it's going to go to the next level. If you have been before, if you go to the conference every year, expect a very exciting conference. Like you've come to expect us doing something different every year and taking it to another level. That's no different this year. We're doing something exciting, and I'm really excited for this year in San Antonio.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I think we've gone through this, and I think people get the idea that this is definitely an event worth attending. And I certainly want to encourage you to really be thinking about it. The cost is really not that much. It's $9.95 for the M&A Next Symposium, and the Elevate AEC Conference and Awards Gala is $21.95. And there are special rates if you're going to book a group of you. And so you can certainly take advantage of that. And there are opportunities to bring guests. A lot of people bring their spouses, significant others, partners, whatever. And then you can also purchase single awards gala tickets. So like if you just have somebody coming in just for the gala to celebrate, you want to do it. But I got to tell you folks, we've seen firms bring 15, 20 people. It's a cool way to acknowledge the hard work that your team has put in over the year or years. And it's just a nice way to show them, hey, you know what? You guys, we're all a part of the success that we're experiencing. And, I want to bring, and I'm just speaking as if I'm a design firm owner, I want to bring everybody or as many people as we can to an event like this to celebrate, to literally celebrate and just kind of let our hair down and take in all that there is to take in. And that's a great way to retain good employees. When you, as a firm leader or a manager, are able to share in the success that you're receiving or that you've had or experienced with everybody on the team, or as many people as possible. I get it. I mean, you might be a firm of 2,000 and say, well, Randy, I can't bring everybody, but I know a firm of 2,000 that probably brings 10 to 15 people to every Elevate conference or more. So there are plenty of opportunities, and you can reach out to us if you're looking for a special deal. If you've got a large number of people that you'd like to bring, I'm sure that Chad and the rest of the team and Luke will make allowances for that and make sure that you guys have a seat at the table for the event.
Yeah. If you can bring all 2,000, we'll figure out a way to accommodate that as well.
That would be huge. I mean, the numbers are going to be big. I mean, they're always big. I mean, you're talking anywhere from 350 to 500 people at this event. I mean, and these are the best of the best design firms from around the country. And that number is only growing every year. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into one number, but I would suspect that we're going to probably break a record this year.
I would agree. Last year in Tampa, we had 400 plus, and we maxed out the venue. So I don't have an exact number, but we maxed out our space last year. So here's to hoping we'll do the same this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a tremendous opportunity. And I'm hoping that, I'm going to try to make my way down there for this event. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good chance to connect with a lot of people. And, I'm always encouraging folks to, talk about your brand and tell great stories. And that's what we do here at the Zweig Letter Podcast. This is just our chance to kind of sit back and reflect on the work that we're doing around the year here at Zweig Group to really bring events and programs like the Elevate AEC Conference, like M&A Next, to as many people as we can humanly possibly serve in the design industry. And, Luke and the rest of the Zweig Group team are doing amazing work. And now with the partnership with Stambaugh Ness, it's only going to get better, folks. So you definitely need to jump on this train if you haven't been on it before, because it's a wild ride, but this train is going places. And, a lot of times you ask, how am I going to get from point A to point B? Sometimes you just have to take a risk and jump on something and take advantage of it. And I think attending a conference like Elevate AEC is one of those decisions that if you make it, it will pay off over and over again for you.
Yeah. And I agree. For me, the train stops in San Antonio. Hopefully I'll be able to book a train ticket down there.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I think we've kind of covered it all, and I didn't want to beat a dead horse with this, but I think it's important for everybody to check it out. You can visit zweiggroup.com and just click on the top. It says attend the 2025 Elevate AEC Conference, and that'll take you to the main page there where it'll talk about everything that's happening in San Antonio, September 9th, 10th, and 11th. And remember, if you want to attend the M&A Next event, that's September 8th and 9th. So it's just, you could spend several days in San Antonio and walk away much different than how you arrived there at that airport. So I really want to encourage you to take advantage of this and all that's going to happen. And on top of that, again, like I said, you know what? Let your hair down a little. It's time to celebrate. And we've got a couple more months before we get there, but we really want to push this over the edge. We want to see 500 plus people in San Antonio, if not more. And I think we can do that. And so we really want to encourage you to be a part of that. And I hope that all of those that are listening to both Luke and I here on this podcast today, decide to jump on the website, zweiggroup.com, click on the attend the 2025 Elevate AEC Conference, and make a decision to come out and join us. You will not be disappointed. I almost want to put a guarantee out there, but you know what? Trust me, come see me. I'm going to make it a point to be there. I would love to hang out with you, break bread, have a cup of coffee, talk shop, but you will not be disappointed with the time that you spend in San Antonio this September 9th, 10th, and 11th.
No, you will not.
Listen, folks, we really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for joining us on this podcast on a regular basis and sharing it with friends, sharing it with your office staff, sharing it with those that are in your company, peers in the industry. We really appreciate that. And certainly this year has been fun now that I have somebody to talk to, in addition to just talking to myself and obviously people that we bring on the podcast. Mr. Carothers has been great, and we really appreciate you guys. And so we will definitely see you on another episode of the Zweig Letter Podcast coming up soon. I'm Randy Wilburn, and
I'm Luke Carothers.
And this has been the Zweig Letter Podcast. Remember, you can find us on every major podcasting platform, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. The podcast, we have almost 9 years of episodes online, so you can listen to a little bit of everything. And I got to tell you, folks, I've gone back and listened to some of the older ones that I did back in like 2017, 2018, 2019. They're still really good. A lot of the episodes are evergreen. They're not like this particular episode where we're talking about a specific event at a specific time. So I want to encourage you, go back into the archives and check out some of the older Zweig Letter Podcast episodes. You will not be disappointed. This podcast has been running since 2016. I sometimes can't believe that. More than 250 episodes. And I got to say, we've touched upon a lot of amazing topics and subjects, and we've had a lot of amazing guests on this podcast. Next time you're going on a road trip, it's almost summertime, I would encourage you to download a few episodes and check it out yourself. I'm Randy Wilburn, and we will see you soon. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Zweig Letter Podcast. We hope that you can be part of elevating the industry and that you can apply our advice and information to your daily professional life. For a free digital subscription to the Zweig Letter, please visit thezweigletter.com/subscribe to gain more wisdom and inspiration, in addition to information about leadership, finance, HR, and marketing your firm. Subscribe today.